Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Philly Fan Radio. I'm your host, John Myer, along with Dan Palmieri. And yes, we haven't done one of these in a while. To be honest with you, it's usually a lull for some things, reports, speculations, blah, blah, blah. You know, everybody's doing their mini camps, mandatory camps. Finally, we had a preseason game at home against the Bengals. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some of the concerns you might think for injury updates, plus our cornerbacks, and just be very cautious on it. The next preseason game, the NFC East, the dumpster fire of the Cowgirls and what's happening around there. And then, Dan put this on the schedule, and we're going to do it. Everyone has their own opinions of the top 5 or 10 quarterbacks. And I'm going to read what I found out. And then Dan and I are going to make our own unbiased list here on the thing. And then we'll talk about it a little bit more. All right, Dan, let's kick things off and talk about our coaching staff, right? So we've got good old Nick. All right. Head coach, head cheerleader. He's doing great. We got Vic Fangio, defense. Thank God we got, a defensive one. And then the new guy to it, Kevin Patullo, right? Patullo. Did I say his name right?
It's a definite maybe.
Okay. Dan, let's just talk about, obviously Nick, Vic. Wow, man, if we only had another one rhyming for offense, this would be great.
As long as Kevin isn't a dick, you're good.
Actually, that will be the next Philly fan thing. Nick, Vic, get rid of Dick, Kevin. Okay. Anyway, first of all, let's talk about the coaching staff real quick because I want to get into the preseason game, the information, the updates, and things that are happening. All right, Dan, coaching staff. What are your thoughts here? I mean, we just had a preseason game.
I think last preseason the defense struggled, so I'm not like putting too much on it, but we're so fortunate now. I mean, how many years of dreck did we have to deal with bad defensive coordinators? And to have Vic there is really a luxury. We don't really have to worry about, scheming and guys being needed, to come along slowly. But with Vic, we know what we're getting. We're going to get consistently good play unless he's going to get in your face about it. And he's going to hold people accountable, which is what this defense always needed.
Now, he's going to hold it accountable, but here's a concern, and you and I are going to talk about this. The offseason for defense was brutal to us.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the change on defense, and I heard it last night. It's like, oh well, we have 7 starters returning from the Super Bowl. Well, to only have 7 on a number 1 defense, that's not exactly something to brag about. There's going to be a lot of change. I mean, we have a lot of core people back, but I mean, we're going to rely on some younger people here to make impact plays, kind of like what we saw with Mitchell and DeJean last year. So there's going to be a lot of flux, but I think we are in a fortunate position where even if the defense struggles a little bit, I do believe that we have a good enough offense that can pick up for it and hold them up for a little bit.
We have unproven players. 7 starters is not a lot. I mean, it takes 11, right? At least you got to rotate and
Yeah.
everything else. I mean, seriously, it's not a lot. And I don't know if I want to rely on the offense to pick up where the defense is slacking because then we're going to have high scoring games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think we're going to be talking about like 40 to 39 games. I'm thinking, maybe mid 20s by the defense, maybe towards the 30s. I don't know. I mean, I was encouraged by some things last night, and we'll go into it, but other things I didn't really like. But again, it's preseason. The formations were very vanilla.
Yep.
I mean, you got to wonder what is the players and what's the scheme, but I think it was really good. I know we didn't have all our starters out there in defense. We basically had guys that were fighting for positions maybe to start,
Yep.
but I think it was good to get them out against what was actually the number 1 pass offense in the league. Didn't make us look good, but I think it was good exposure for them.
One of the things from last night, in fact, let's just jump right into it. The final score of the game was 34-27. When you were watching it, you were like, it's going to be one of those preseasons. Now, I never count preseasons. We typically just lose preseasons anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan, going along with you saying that the offense was vanilla, the defense was vanilla. Everything was vanilla just so that the coaches could see the players. And I totally get that, right? They're not, but they still did get home a couple of times, which was really great on the defensive side. You had the Bengals starters against the Eagles backups, basically. And the score turned out really great. I mean, Joe Burrow was in there, 2 TDs, Tanner Hudson, Jamar
Mm-hmm.
Chase. He got those against it. The Eagles had the number one backup in the NFL. I mean, we had Tanner McKee. This guy all around plays well. Everybody's watching him. He even came back in after halftime when Nick said, I don't know, we're going to see. And he started, the third quarter.
Yeah, I was surprised as hell to see that, to be honest with you. But I think we both were throughout the season, probably more in the preseason, but last year, I think we both stood up here and said, we think Tanner McKee is better than Kenny Pickett.
Oh, my
And
God.
he should have been the
Yes.
backup.
He should
So
have been in there. He should have been thrown in the Super Bowl. Sorry. I mean, Kenny did fine. Don't get me wrong. But, you know.
I think the guy really plays well. I haven't seen him play a game or, play any time when it's like, it's too big of a stage for him. He's just
Yep.
not performing well. I mean, he made some throws that were tight windows. I was really impressed with him, and it makes me feel better as a fan to say, okay, if Jalen does go down, because he does have a history of going down and like missing a game here, a game there, I really don't feel like the offense is going to struggle that much.
Since we're talking about this, and we're going to be talking about the top 5 or top 10 QBs. Did you know that Joe Burrow is number 3 in the list?
According to who? They all fluctuate.
Well, this was broken down across the variations of all of them. I think it was like ESPN or everything. Let's just say the internet is saying Joe Burrow is number 3. So.
Which I don't mind that. I mean, we'll get into it, but there's one quarterback that everybody puts in their top 5 that I completely want to bash. So I'm gonna
we're gonna save this till later because you and I are
Mm-hmm.
gonna have a fun time with it. Okay, I want to talk about defense. We struggled. Our corners struggled in this. Ringo, he had a bad game. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
Jackson was. I just it's a concerning to me because we lost 2 of the top cornerbacks, and now we have to replace them with Ringo, which I actually thought he did well last year, but where is he this year?
I think that we both might have said, though, we questioned the moves in the offseason because Ringo was a third stringer. It's not like the guy was a backup to Darius Slay and Quinion Mitchell. The guy was a third stringer, and I just don't feel comfortable taking a guy who was a third stringer and making him a starter on a Super Bowl caliber defense. I just don't. And I've really never been a fan of the guy, basically because I think he's got poor technique. And I think you saw it a lot last night where he was backpedaling. He got
Yep.
caught a few times. I mean, we saw the whole 10-yard off crap like we usually do, but he didn't. The problem is that he didn't break on the ball when it was coming back. He was still backpedaling. I don't understand why you're going to backpedal still when you're giving him 10 yards. So it's questionable to me. And I mean, it's early. It is early, but I think Adoree Jackson looks cooked to me.
Yep.
I know that he was taken off of a starter for the Giants, but he doesn't look good to me. So I think we have some concerns out there. But they did make a trade for an actual starter that was with the Raiders last year. He started, I think, 7 of 10 games. Had some injury issues, but they say that he's a good player, and I think maybe if he can acclimate quickly, that maybe he can start. I mean, I've heard reports out of training camp that Vic is not too pleased with the performance of, he called out Adoree Jackson, saying that he's got to basically see start doing better. He's called out Kelee Ringo, so apparently he's not comfortable out there. So I think it's good though, because in the past, we've really taken the season with some guys that we both said, these guys suck. And I don't think Vic is going to put somebody out there, regardless of their name, that sucks. So I do feel a little more comfortable about that. But the question is do we have the other starting corner on the roster right now? And I don't know. I can't answer that. I think it's going to be a really tough thing that we're going to struggle with, to be honest with you.
Now, Bennett from the Raiders, when will he get any of the reps? I think maybe here's my feeling. I think he's getting it in training camp, but will we see him in the Browns preseason game next week? I'm not sure, to be honest with you, because you never see starters. Well, you hardly ever see starters. I mean, Joe Burrow came in for this preseason game, but you hardly see them past the first preseason game. Now, we have Quinyon Mitchell. End of story. I know Cooper DeJean has been playing a little bit of some safety there in training camp. So, I want to see what they're working on, or they were playing around and trying to see some moves. But let's just put this out there. Quinyon Mitchell, you've got Ringo, Jackson, and Bennett. Okay. So you already have your main one. If these are your choices and you can't pick between these, there's a concern.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. And they've been having Quinyon Mitchell switch sides, so it looks like they're going to go the route of having him travel with the best wide receiver on the other team, which is fine, but you're going to face teams like, and I hate to say it, Dallas, that does have CeeDee Lamb, but now they have Pickens. So are you going to tell me that you're comfortable with Kelee Ringo or Dory Jackson or Bennett playing Pickens? We need to find a legit starting cornerback at the other side for sure.
I think I might be comfortable with that because they got Dak as a quarterback. I mean, he's got to get the ball there first.
Well, yeah, and they're not paying their best player, so yeah.
Oh, I saw the reports on the salary cap hit. Like Dak Prescott, it was like the top one. He was so huge on it. And then there's the Eagles with like 20 on theirs for the salary cap hit. Okay. Dan.
Now, I got to add this while we're on it real quick.
Yeah.
Was it not the stupidest thing that Jerry Jones went on TV and said, I deal in handshake deals? He said, I bought the team with a handshake deal. I don't like to put things on paper. I do things with handshake deals. The stupidest
First of all, to be honest with you, I'm a man of my word. It resonates with me. I get it. I understand it, but
not in the NFL.
Not in the NFL. That's exactly it. Not in the NFL. I deal on a handshake. No, I want it written down on paper, signed by my, attorney. I want it signed by my agent, everything like that. Then we'll get to work. I ain't working for free.
He's just a moron, and I love it. I hope he lives forever.
He's already working on living forever. He's going into cryo, dude.
He can be the owner and the GM for forever. It's fantastic.
That's why it makes Dallas hilarious, because he has his hand in everything, and they haven't won anything since VHS was a big thing.
That's very true.
Oh, all right. So moving on, and I love your note here for Sidney Brown. So he came back, end of the season last year? With 2 games, was it?
Yeah,
2 or 3,
yeah.
Whatever it is. I was concerned, but he played limited time of coming back. I'm not sure about him myself. He has to prove. I want to see right at the gate, like against Dallas, to be proven.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to test him. They're going to test this entire secondary because they really don't have a legit running back. I mean, they got Miles Sanders now, who, he's gone. So,
Yep.
But they don't really have a running game, so they're going to put the ball up 40 to 45 times. And if you don't have guys in the secondary, I mean, throw corner out there regardless, but you don't have guys like safeties that can play, then you're in trouble. I don't see Sidney Brown being a legit starting safety in the league. He takes poor angles with tackles. He's not known for his coverage skills. A lot of times we had Gardner Johnson come down and maybe play the tight end I don't think we have a safety who can play the tight end right now. We saw when Reed really struggled 2 years ago, and I'll be the first to say I wanted him off the team, which I'm glad he's not. He was covering people and he was getting lost. He's not a coverage safety. He's a play center field and come up and pop somebody safety.
Yep.
And we need to cover safety, and I don't think we have it. I mean, we have the guy that's the second rounder, Makuba or whatever, but he's not playing because he's injured. So he's not
Yep.
going to start opening day if he doesn't get on the field. So I think we're going to struggle. There's going to have to be things that Vic is going to do with his schemes that are going to kind of mask these deficiencies that we might have on defense.
Well, speaking of that, can we recover as a defense? We haven't talked about offense much yet, and we will. I mean, Tanner was the biggest thing, but can we recover from our defense of the loss of the personnel that happened?
I think it's going to be very difficult. I don't think we're going to have the top defense. I think we'll maybe have lower top 10, like 9, 10, 11. Basically, because what's the best way that you're going to mitigate issues at the corner? Get pressure quick.
Yep. So we
And
didn't
I
blitz
don't,
much last year. So is that to mean that we're going to be blitzing more because of the lack of talent?
yeah, well, which leaves your corners on an island.
Yep.
So it's a double edged sword. I mean, you have unproven edge rushers. You're going to ask more out of Nolan Smith now. You're going to ask more out of Jalix Hunt, who I think is going to be a really good player for this team.
Yep.
Um, you got the interior defensive tackles are really good, but you're relying on guys to get pressure up front. And that's the only way that you're going to be able to help because I don't feel comfortable with the other corner covering a guy for 5, 6 seconds downfield. You got to get pressure quick. And like you said, are we going to blitz more, which then leaves them in single coverage? So you're going to see some risks. I think we're going to give up some big plays opposite Mitchell, but again, it's I don't think we're going to be as good. More middle of the pack this year. I hope I'm wrong. I really am. But with the personnel we have now, I see more of a middle of the pack defense.
The one guy that we haven't really talked about much, and it's because of his last name, he carries it, Trotter Jr., right? And I saw him playing last night, and I can't give him a grade at all. And it's not a bad thing. It's just that I wasn't, it's preseason and everything. I would love to see him step up more. He's got big shoes to fill. And I just think like he's just an average player right now, and I'm waiting for him to break free and be that dominant player.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be that dominant player. I mean, he wasn't a first round pick. He's a different type of linebacker. He's thinner, he's faster. It's a matter of, and I saw it last night, he was coming up, he was making a great read as to where the running back was going. But when the lineman got to the second level, he wasn't able to shake them off. And that's something you got to work on, obviously.
Yep.
That's the most important thing. He's just not able to shake him off. Great read, gets to the hole, can't shake him off. So there's that. But I think that I don't think he's going to start the year. Honestly, I think you're going to see our rookie Jahad Campbell start, who I wasn't really impressed with last night. But again, he's a rookie and he's coming off an injury. So, but I would like Trotter Jr. I think he could be a good player, but I don't think you're going to see him only because I think that he's just lacking the ability to get off blocks get off the offensive lineman. He's more of a pursuit linebacker. He'll get tackles because somebody passes him and he catches up to him.
That's going to be one of the difficult things. I would love to. I mean, I know he's a different type. It's different times. That his dad was out playing for the Eagles versus now. But all right, I'm going to switch gears over to the offense just for a little bit because I think they did really well. Some of the unknown talent that was in there, the wide receiver Darius Cooper and I can't even pronounce his first name.
Anais.
Anais. I was going to
Mm-hmm.
say something else. I might have had to hit the
Anus.
explicit.
I knew what you were going to say.
I was damn it, I gotta hit that explicit thing. So I was just there were some unknowns. They were great to me. That it worked out. They showed up. Johnny Wilson, he had a great game. That was
Mm-hmm.
great. He had a really good game. I mean, there was that one catch that kind of very difficult because he was going the other one. But to be honest with you, I think the offensive side, there are some unknowns out there that are going to be actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the depth at wide receiver is really good. I mean, we did see it didn't look like it, but the Bengals played their starters on defense.
I know.
So, and we had our second string. Um, I think the only starter that I saw last night was
AJ Dillon. Is he going to be a
well,
starter?
AJ Dillon, yeah, but I mean Shipley, third stringer, but the slot wide receiver, I feel bad, but I'm forgetting his name right now. The guy from the Redskins, Dotson.
Oh, Dotson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he played and he looked good.
Yep.
But yeah, they have really great depth at wide receiver. I mean, I think Wilson looked good. I didn't realize he's 6'6". I mean, he's got the frame of a tight
Finally,
end.
finally look good. Remember, last year you and I watched him in preseason and in practice, and he just wasn't a wow factor to us. You know, he wasn't. He should have had certain things. He should. I mean, at 6'6", man, I don't. You should be towering over those like a 10-foot jump.
Yeah, I think we both said that the problem with him is that he was trying to catch it with the body. And if you're that
Yeah.
tall, just grasp it with the hands. And he showed that last night where he went up and, displayed strong hands. So I think that's really encouraging because I do think that he could be a good option. Like, I see more of him like running short routes,
Yep.
maybe running some plays down the field. You just kind of 50-50 ball. But yeah, I was really impressed with Darius Cooper. I don't even know who the hell he is, but
I'm like,
I was
Cooper?
seriously
Wait, no,
impressed.
wrong guy.
Yeah, not Riley.
Yeah.
No, he was really impressive. He ran some crisp routes out there, and he made their corners look foolish.
Yep.
And he looked like a guy that could be not just a guy to make the team, but he actually could be a contributor, like fourth string wide receiver or fourth wide receiver. Unfortunately for him, he's on a team that's pretty stacked with the two starters, but he looked like a really good player, and I was pretty impressed.
Well, AJ, I don't want to say is getting up there, right? So, the wide receivers takes a lot of toll. Remember Deshaun Jackson always had, like he was slowing down as he got older. I think AJ's got still plenty of life left in him.
Mm-hmm.
If he brings him up underneath him, he'll give him more of the breaks. Everybody will still split out. You'll spread out the coverage a lot more and, give our receivers a chance. I was listening to the guys last night on Eagles radio network or television network for the preseason game, and they were talking about AJ Dillon's hamstrings, his quads.
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
It is.
Oh my god, they're bigger than Saquon Barkley's.
When I was watching it, I looked to my wife and I said, "It is preseason for the announcers. They're running out of things to talk about."
They are. They said AJ.
I mean, they spent 10 minutes on the Uncrustable issue, talking about if they liked it in the fridge.
Right out of the freezer, by the way, they said. Right
the
out.
freezer. Okay, all right.
Yes,
yeah.
You eat it right. We'll get to that 1 second. It was funny because he was like, "Yeah, we talked to AJ Dillon, and he said there's no skinny jeans for him." Oh my god,
exactly. He has to have his jeans specially made.
Yeah,
as they said.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get it. Okay, let's talk about the Uncrustable thing. They were interviewing Lane Johnson, and there is Landon Dickerson in the background. And my son goes, "Does he see the guy in the background? And he's eating a banana." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, so he's eating a banana. No big deal." And then all of a sudden, they zoomed in and turned around. Lane turned, and there's Landon, and he's eating an Uncrustable, and he's just sitting there.
Never broke character either.
No, he didn't. But here's the thing. What plays did we miss? Why we're talking about Uncrustables?
I thought it was a cheeseburger because he started eating a banana, and then somebody handed him something. I thought it was a cheeseburger, and
It
then
was
they
a
just kind of
strawberry
zoomed
Uncrustable, I think.
in.
So Dan, have you ever had an Uncrustable?
I have not, but
What?
I have not.
Oh my god. Okay,
But my
so
my
first,
kid my kid loved them when he was little.
they're expensive peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Basically, you can make your own and put it in the fridge and freezer. But anyway, they're just sealed all around the edges. I will let you know that I do like mine directly out of the freezer. The peanut butter is not as hard as you think coming out of it and biting on it, and it softens up pretty good. It's great after workouts or pre. It's perfect, man.
Are you
Just
being
saying.
sarcastic or are you being
No,
legit?
I'm being serious, but the sarcasm comes with it.
Well, you keep eating those and you'll be Quadzilla.
Definitely not. Sorry. But yeah, they're great, to be honest with you. Should we take an entire show to talk about them?
Well, we could talk about skinny jeans. That's pretty good
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah, they don't fit me either. All right. So moving on a little bit, two of the injuries that you noted, Baun and AJ Brown. Concern? Baun back, AJ Brown hamstring.
I mean, they said it's not long term. I'm more concerned with AJ Brown because he had hamstring issues all throughout last year. He actually missed, it was either 2 or 3 games with the hamstring,
Mm-hmm.
same hamstring. So, I mean, I'm concerned because soft tissue injuries tend to linger, and I don't want that. So I'm concerned a little bit, but they don't seem
You
to be
should
that
go in the
concerned.
hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah, well, you're not going to see him. You're not going to see him for the entire preseason, obviously.
Oh, not at all. He should be. I just, here's a question, right? Like, they know this is an issue now. We have a month before the opener. He should be like total, just slowly progressing, nothing heavy. Let him heal. Let him properly heal.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of the terminology on offense with Patullo has to be the same. You know, you can't think it's going to be an overhaul of the offense. So, getting him practice reps with Jalen, is it really stressfully needed? I mean, they've been working together for so long that they know each other's tendencies.
Yep.
And he's such a good wide receiver. It's basically like, I don't care what route I'm going to go, just throw me a damn ball and I'll catch it. So,
Yep.
what's the point? But yeah, I think they need to bring him along slowly, and I think they will because
Yep.
if they don't realize the value of him by now, they're crazy.
And then Zach Baun, back issue, lower back, whatever it is. I love how they say they're not concerned about it, but listen, he was the number one that we wanted signed during off season. Like, take care of this guy, lock him up. He was only on a 1 year deal. They did that. Now he's all right. I'm not worried. We got a month to go. I'm sure things can heal. Unless you need to do something, you do it now. Don't pretend like you're going to get by the season.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, the back is another tricky one, especially like you said, the guy was who I think was the defensive player of the year last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think he got
Yep.
robbed of it, but anyway, um, it's a matter of you just got to manage and maintain it. You don't want to go into the season opener with nursing an injury because you
Yep.
know you're going to be injured at the end of the year. So you got to be fresh. And, I think it depends on the extent. The Eagles don't do a good job at divulging much information. I mean, if a guy's injured, they downplay everything, which I guess is okay. As a fan, it sucks because you want to know exactly what's going on with your guys. But from a team perspective, they don't want a competitive edge there. So I think they'll be okay. It's just a matter of they'll come along slowly. And I'll be interested to see. They have 2 joint practices with the Browns coming up where Nick always says that's more of the game. That's more of they actually run a simulated game. So it'll be interesting to see if those guys play. I don't know if they will, but
No.
I think
It's like a
we
soft
definitely.
practice, right? They don't really.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I mean, I
really
don't think
tackle
they.
during it, right?
No, they tackle, but
Do they?
the quarterback can't be touched.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they do tackle. It's like a simulated game according to Nick, and they're
Yeah.
doing it back
Like
to
a
back.
slow
So
mo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's scenario based. Like, they'd
Yep.
run a lot of inside the 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good. I mean, you're practicing against the Browns, who next to Dallas are probably the biggest dumpster fire in the world. So what kind of
uh,
competition are you going to get? But,
Well, speaking of that, dumpster fires, obviously Dallas doing what you noted, Dallas things, Michael Parsons issue, that's still ongoing with my gentleman's handshake happening over there. And
yeah.
yeah, he wants to be released. And I love how AJ's putting in there. He's a Philly guy, born and raised.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll never go to Philly because right now it's a trade. It would have to be a trade in Dallas.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry Jones might just be stupid enough to trade him, pull a Herschel Walker type of deal, but
That would be awesome.
I don't think
Listen.
I don't think you'd see it, but
Yeah. Well, he'd probably wake up. He'd like, he goes to Philly. I can't sleep at night. So
are they on Hard Knocks this
year? Yeah. Well, I'm so glad the Eagles were not. Remember that nobody signed up to be on it after the Giants fiasco. And at that point, it gave the NFL network their opportunity to pick a team.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you see that the NFL network was just purchased by ESPN?
By ESPN, yeah, and everything basically.
Yeah,
Red Zone too.
The red zone and all that is. So here's my question. I know we're changing subject here, but here's my question on that. Was the NFL network not really doing that well that they had to be purchased, or was the ESPN trying to eliminate competition, or they had a good play in and they don't like ESPN doesn't want to remake this stuff, so they just pull in the NFL?
Well, remember who ESPN's owned by. They're owned by Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse has enough money to do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was just a matter of they wanted more revenue, so they bought them out. NFL Network makes a ton of money.
They got some good shows on the NFL Network. I watch some of them. They're pretty good. I mean, and they got the red zone. So maybe ESPN is like, listen, we're just going to expand, but why remake it? We'll just buy.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they're just going for the name. Plus, I think you're going to get more streaming opportunities. So you'll basically see the same anchors on ESPN probably flip over to NFL Network and vice versa. I mean, I probably won't make any changes. I know that they said they're going to keep the red zone format the same. So they're not going to overhaul it, but they said they're going to overhaul a little bit of the talk show aspects of it.
Yep, I get it. All right, back to the thing. I guess Terry McLaurin still wanting to trade. Has he got one?
No trade yet. It's so bad. These teams, and Howie's just so good at paying people early. It's ridiculous. Yep. And now you see why you pay people early, because you got unhappy players. I mean, you got Michael Parsons going on X saying, I don't want to be a Dallas Cowboy anymore. I mean, how do you recover from that? How do you come back to the team from that? And yet he's still at the practice facilities, but not practicing, which is baffling to me.
Well, does he get docked anything if he's there but not practicing?
50,000. Yeah.
All right. Well,
that's it.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe it's 5,000 a day, but he's basically just there in street clothes, just watching everything.
Wow. Alrighty then. Okay, Dan, my last thing that we're going to wrap up here, and we're going to have a lot of fun with this. I know we've been going for, like 30 minutes or something, is that we need to talk about these top 5, top 10 QBs in the league. Dan, I have a list in front of me, and what, the internet says, the World Wide Web. Sorry, can resist
the
that.
Interwebs.
The interweb. And my list in front of me goes the following, and I'll make my comments as I go along, but we got Mahomes as number 1, which I disagree.
Yeah. Right? Okay.
Yeah, I just don't see him as a number 1 QB. Anyway, Josh Allen, number 2. I like that one. Yeah, we got Joe Burrow at number 3. Lamar Jackson at 4. The next 3 are an insult to 1, 2, 3, 4. The next 4 are an insult to number 9, to be honest with you. Number 5, Jayden Daniels. Are you freaking serious?
Jesus Christ.
Number 6, Matthew Stafford. He might be pushing the higher end of the top 10. 7, Justin Herbert.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
I just don't see. Yeah. Anyway, and number 8, Jared Goff.
Okay.
He's at the higher end of it, but the insult here is number 9 of Jalen Hurts. Number 9. Okay, and then number 10 is Baker Mayfield. I think Baker might be 11, but I don't have another one to put in his place, so we can just keep him at top 10.
Yeah, not bad. I mean,
yeah,
he's top
exactly.
10, but I mean, all right, I'll hear your top 5 before I go on my rant. Go ahead.
No, I want to hear your rant first, and then I'm going to give you mine.
Well, first off, Jayden Daniels. It's a flash in the pan thing. He was fantastic. He was. And he might be a top 5 quarterback moving forward, but you cannot put him as one of the best quarterbacks in the league after 1 year. It's not. They tried to do the same thing with CJ Stroud, and Stroud struggled this year or the last year. So you just can't. It's especially okay. Let's go down the list. Justin Herbert, I'm tired of hearing about. He had great regular season stats, but what does he do when the playoffs come? He blows. He screws the pooch every year. And that's if he makes the playoffs. Otherwise, what is the use of putting up great regular season stats, aka Dak Prescott, if he can't win in the playoffs? What is the point? I mean, Lamar Jackson. I will say Lamar Jackson.
Postseason, like a trail at the end of the season, but I don't think he's great throughout it, and he doesn't finish the season or the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, my list came from ESPN. We just talked about.
Oh, wait, what? Your list? Your personal list?
No, not my list.
Yeah.
No, I am not. I am not putting my name on this list. No, not at all. This list came from ESPN. So
yeah, well, ESPN employs Dan Orlowski, who came on the air and said the Eagles are going to get destroyed by the Packers in the playoffs. Then he said the Rams are the best team in the NFC. They're going to roll over them. Then he said, oh, Washington just went to Detroit and the Eagles aren't going to see him. And then he was the one who also said, I don't think that the Eagles are going to get in the red zone in the Super Bowl against his defense. Yeah, clearly ESPN's not employing the smartest people out there. So screw them. But,
okay, so back to our list.
Yeah. I mean, I do have Mahomes as number 1. I mean, you can't question what he's done. His resume.
Yeah. Wait a second. Is this list his career or the last season?
I like to look at it.
You got Jayden Daniels here on the list at number 5. I don't. Not you. Not in general speaking. No. Jayden Daniels is on ESPN's list as number 5. Then it has to report last season. Or career.
I'll say let's go off the last 2 years, 2 or 3 years,
because Jayden Daniels shouldn't even be on the fucking list.
I have him probably at number 10, to be honest with you, because I also want to rank.
So you're putting Baker Mayfield at 9 and him at 10, or you put Baker Mayfield out?
I'm putting Baker Mayfield out personally, but I also am not as high on Matthew Stafford either. So let me go down. I think that you're looking at Mahomes. I think you're looking at Josh Allen as number 2. Okay. Even though I understand he doesn't play well in the postseason, I am going with Lamar Jackson at 3. Just because. Number 4, I think you have to put Hurts. I don't want to hear, oh, he's not a top 5. He only threw for 182 yards a game. He threw for 182 yards a game because they had the best running back in the league and they didn't need to pass the ball. Yep. Why would you put the ball up 40 times a game when your guy is rushing 6 yards a carry and nobody can stop him? Everybody looks at that as a negative to the passing game. Oh, they couldn't pass the ball. No, they could pass the ball. They went to the air in the
Steelers game and they kicked freaking ass.
Yeah, if they needed to throw.
You want to see?
Yeah, I mean, look what they did in the Super Bowl. Saquon was stopped. What did they do? They threw the ball all over him. So
Yeah.
I don't want to hear they can't throw. It was because they didn't need to throw.
Why would you?
Exactly, if you're winning a certain way and nobody can stop you, why not do it until somebody
Yep.
stops you? It's stupid.
Saquon's average yards after touching the ball were phenomenal. What were they, in the eights or something like that? But crazy
Yeah.
because he got touchdown after touchdown from the line of scrimmage, and okay, who do you have at number 5? We're gonna stop at number 5 because this show is gonna go on forever if we.
No, number 5. Well, I think Herbert's trash. I don't want to hear his bullshit. I put Burrow. I would. Burrow has been to a Super Bowl. He is a good player. He's consistently a good player. And I'll tell you why I put Hurts. And it's not because I'm an Eagles fan. I put Hurts above Burrow because the guy has never had a losing season. Okay. He took a team over that was, I think they were 5-11 at the time. They were in disarray before Nick came. So he took over a team that was in disarray, whatever. He's got weapons, blah, 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 blah. You can't hold it against them that their GM is really good. Can't. And so let's throw out the idea that, oh, well, they have Saquon Barkley. That's why they won the Super Bowl. What happened 2 years ago? They didn't have Saquon Barkley 2 years ago. So he's been to a Super Bowl, lost. He's been to a Super Bowl, won the MVP. He's made the playoffs every single year. I mean, what more does the guy need to do to justify that he's a top 5 quarterback? And everybody's saying, well, look at these stats. Look at Mahomes and Josh Allen. They're putting up 4,000 yards. Well, for the case of Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, how's that 4,000 yards looking in the postseason? Why are we so stuck on stats where 4,000 yards? I guess my question to you is, when did wins and losses become a secondary stat for ranking quarterbacks? When? Because he's second to Patrick Mahomes in wins losses, and yet people are saying, "Oh, this is not a top 10 quarterback." But how? When did wins become overrated? That's what I want to know.
I think it's become political and popularity versus wins and losses. And then to justify it, they threw stats in there to justify their decision. That's my opinion, because I don't, like you said, ESPN, this is the thing. Well, we all know why it is, okay? And I think people just don't like the Eagles, period. And they're not, So, okay, your list contains Mahomes, Josh, Lamar, Hurts, and Burrow. Mm-hmm. Not a bad list, to be honest with you. I am torn between Mahomes and Josh Allen as a number 1. So they are a tie for me. So,
and I won't criticize you for that, because I think the last few years Josh Allen has been better.
If we are going off the last few years, here's where I was going off the past year. Mine was number 3 as Hurts, because Lamar Jackson, while he had a good ending to the season and everything, not a good ending. Obviously, he didn't make it far, but he still looked good. His numbers were up there. His stats were up there. And I think he still has that ability. He is my number 4. And then I do have Burrow as number 5. I don't think of Joe Burrow as a number 3 at all. And the reason that I say Joe Burrow is a number 5 is because if you look at the remaining of Jayden, Stafford, Herbert, Goff, and Mayfield, Burrow is better than all those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what? Want to know the crazy thing is that everybody's like so in love with Burrow, and I get it, he's a good quarterback. But when are people going to start criticizing him for having a good supporting cast? I don't hear anybody saying, oh, well, he's only good because he's got Jamar Chase, who won the Triple Crown of wide receiving. He's got T. Higgins. Why aren't people criticizing him? It's that whole crap of we're criticizing one but not holding the other accountable. And the biggest thing that I rant on is everybody talks about Herbert. And everybody nationally is like, oh, well, Herbert is a much better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. He is way arms and shoulders above Jalen Hurts. How? The guy doesn't even get to the playoffs most of the time.
Yeah, I'm not big. I mean, golf was all right, and he's had his ups and downs, and he was, hell, a great year last year, whatever it is. But yeah.
I mean, they're good. I mean, Baker Mayfield's good. But when I think of top 5, I'm thinking of elite.
Yes.
Mahomes, elite. Josh Allen, elite. Lamar Jackson, I do think is elite, even though he seems to just crap out in the postseason. Burrow, I think, is an elite quarterback. And if you're going to tell me that the guy that took his team to 2 Super Bowls, won an MVP, has never not been to the playoffs, has a 45-17 record, is not an elite quarterback, then I'm going to show you a person that really needs to sit in the corner and take a timeout, because there's no way. There's no way. You just can't. There's no way that you can justify.
Go to the corner, timeout. You need to think about what you did.
Yeah, exactly. What have you done? Stick his nose to the ground. What have you done?
Bad.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
All right, everybody. I gotta wrap this up. We have been going. I'm sorry. I need a timeout here. No, I'm just kidding.
Bad podcast. Bad.
Oh, Dan, this has been an awesome episode. Really fun, really cool to talk about and get back into the kick. We're going to do this every week. And in fact, we're going to try to double up or at least get some shorter stuff in, but we can talk about this all day long on what's happening. Next week, we're going to recap after the Browns game. We're going to do that, right?
We'll why not? They're going to have 2 open practices. They'll have the game. So
we'll have
be a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay, everybody. Thank you for watching the Philly Fan Radio. I'm your host, John Myer, along with Dan Palmieri. And Dan, in tradition of this, I'm going to let you do the ending.
We're out of here, and enjoy those brownies.